We are. All right. Why am I not? Oh, there it is. All right, we're back. We're back. We're testing stuff out. We're seeing how it works. All right, so it's the latest Shibuya. We're just gonna keep this one in the back, in the back pocket. It's Al Jazeera saying
that there's going to be some level of sanctions relief because the Iranians are going to need to rebuild their country. And
it's way off. Mom missing off the Bahamas. Okay. TV. It's not even like.
if they cannot do it unless they get sanctions relief, and if they don't rebuild the country, they believe that weakness will just invite the Israelis to attack them again.
Sorry, Trita, I just want to clarify what you said. You think that this transit system will remain in place. Should I take that to mean you think that the Strait of Hormuz effectively turning into a toll highway will continue?
I think there's a likelihood that will be one of the outcomes of this war. And again, look, the Iranians are going to try to offer very low fees for these tankers. I mean, whether it's $1 million or $2 million at this point, that would be 1% additional increase on each barrel, whereas just the insurance cost is 10 to 15%. So I think they will keep it very low just to get the pattern in place. And for most countries, paying that is nothing compared to the alternative, which is to go to war with Iran over opening the straits. If the United States was not willing to do so, I cannot see any other country doing so.
Yeah, Trita, Alan, Trita obviously talks about the pressures that the United States is on, and you've mentioned this as well, to ultimately get to a deal, whatever that deal is. You can see why this war was appealing to Israel, because it's extremely popular inside that country. But it has not been popular, barely at all, inside the United States. So can you help us understand, I mean, in your view, what was in it for the U.S. president to go down this route of war, given how unpopular it was?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we know, dude. We know. Come on. All right, so that's kind of the latest. I mean, there's nothing that we're really going to see here. I mean, are they moving? Can you see them moving? This guy's going in. He's going in. He doesn't give a shit. Charminar, dude. We have a captain. Calls a bear, yeah. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Holy shit. That's crazy. They go all the way up there? Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see where everybody's going with this. Yeah, I don't know about that.
שחשפנו לראשונה בחדשות 14 על העימות בין הנשיא פזשקיאן למשמרות המהפכה, היום הגיעו לידינו עוד ציטוטים מהעימות בין הצדדים. לפי מקורותינו, בשבוע שעבר, כאשר משמרות המהפכה מינו את זולרארד למחליף של הרג'ני, בתפקיד המזכיר המועצה לביטחון לאומי, פזשקיאן התנגד והשתולל. הוא טען שהנשיא אמור למנות את המחליף. משמרות המהפכה ענו לו בתוקפנות: אל תתערב. הנה כמה מהציטוטים מהעימות. הנשיא פזשקיאן למפקד משמרות המהפכה: אתם מנהלים את המדינה כמו מתאבדים. אין לנו סיכוי להתאושש מזה. אם זה יימשך עוד 3 שבועות, הכלכלה תתפרק. פזשקיאן, שניצח בבחירות לנשיאות את רליבאף, הוסיף: העם האיראני בחר בי בפער גדול. העם רצה תקווה כי רצה לשרוד. ומה שאתם עושים זה ההפך המוחלט. אתם מבטלים את רצון העם. לא רק שלקחתם ממני את הניהול בסוגיות הביטחוניות והמדיניות, מאז פרוץ המלחמה לקחתם ממני גם את הניהול של הסוגיות האזרחיות והכלכליות. כפי שחשפנו בעבר, פזשקיאן ביקש בעבר להיפגש עם מוצ'טבא חמינאי, המנהיג העליון, כדי להתפטר, ונענה בסירוב. לאחרונה הוא שוב ביקש ושוב נענה בסירוב.
Panama since the start of the US war in Iran, and locals are feeling the pressure.
I'm working all day to basically pay for gas. I'm only left with $5 or $6 of profit at the end of the day. It's tough. We need the government to bring in subsidies as soon as possible.
In a country that imports all its fuel, the impact is widespread, hitting transport, goods, and food. Buses and metro schedules have already been reduced to avoid raising fares. At the fish market, fishermen say costs per trip have jumped from $1,400 to
It just says the Trump administration told Israel that during the coming negotiations, the U.S. will stick to its guns. Yeah, I mean, you know, I believe that. It's not good, obviously. Say I'm against hurting children. Generally, you know. I'd like to know how they were hurt, you know. I don't know. I mean, they could have obviously been seriously hurt. Who knows? I mean, they did fire a bunch of missiles, so. Yeah. if a ceasefire deal is taking time to filter down to Iranian, filter down, yeah, there's trouble filtering it down, right? Yeah, I mean, there's just elements of the Revolutionary Guard and really the Revolutionary Guard that have direct control over these missiles, and they disagree. They're hardliners, and they want to keep going, and you can see that, you know, in this. I don't know who this is. This is some sort of a. Is this like official? I don't know. I mean, maybe. Could be legit. I mean, it could really actually be like, who's this fucking guy? Wow, let's see what this is. This looks insane.
हम जवाब देंगे तो दुनिया देखेगी। ये अल्फाज एक ऐसे ईरानी के हैं जिसने ना सिर्फ दुनिया को ललकारा बल्कि भरपूर जवाब भी दिया। आइए आज आपको इस ईरानी यानी इब्राहिम जुल्फकारी की कहानी सुनाते हैं।
मशरिक़ वस्ता एक ऐसा खित्ता जहां ताकत की ज़बान सिर्फ हथियार नहीं बल्कि अल्फाज भी बोलते हैं, और इन्हीं अल्फाज के जरिए एक नई आवाज उभरी है जिसे दुनिया इब्राहिम जुल्फकारी के नाम से जानती है। कर्नल इब्राहिम जुल्फकारी ईरान में मरकज खातमुल अंबिया के मरकजी फौजी तर्जुमान, जिनका नाम आपने गुज़श्ता चंद दिन के दौरान सुना होगा, लेकिन उनकी कहानी सिर्फ फौजी बयानात तक महदूद नहीं है। कर्नल के ओहदे पर मौजूद 30 से 40 के करीब उम्र का एक नौजवान जो 4 ज़बानें रवानी से बोलता है और फारसी, अरबी, अंग्रेजी और इब्रानी पर मुकम्मल उबूर रखता है। जी हाँ, वो दुश्मन को।
Let's go over to NBC News Chief International Correspondent Keir Simmons, who's in.
Yeah, we've seen that.
5% of South Korea's helium was imported from the big liquefied national gas field in Qatar that was hit by Iranian strikes, and that is critical for making semiconductors. So those concerns still in place, but optimism around the ceasefire. But of course, everyone knows even if the ceasefire holds, the situation will not return to normal tomorrow, and ceasefires are, of course, fragile things, particularly this one, which perhaps raises more questions than answers.
Yeah, certainly the effects of this being felt far and wide. Jack Barton.
Yeah, so you can see, I mean, what this guy's talking about, you know, the words he's using, we are the owners of the last shot, you know, I mean, come on, he's just, that's what they're going to say. That's what, I mean, they're hardliners, and they want to get that last shot off. It's not as though, I mean, maybe it was a miscommunication. Maybe it didn't filter down or whatever. Sure. I mean, will any of us know that as a fact? No. But there's a very good chance that they, they set off one last salvo. And maybe we're trying to derail it too, you know, that they want Israel to fire back. It doesn't really matter because they can justify it one way or the other. Both parties. Whether, you know, who shot first or whatever, who quote unquote broke the ceasefire. Ceasefires are broken constantly. Ceasefires take a while. You know, you look in tactical ceasefire, not ceasefires on the tactical level, and in like a land war in Ukraine, there's always violations. Always violations. Always violate. There's been violation on violation on violation on violation, all during the Palestine-Israel ceasefire negotiations. That didn't just happen out of nowhere. That was happening for a long time, and there was fighting, and then blah, 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 and then they were like breaking. And it's just kind of how it works. Where's this guy going? Nobody knows. Oh, he's making progress. Where's this guy from? Malta? Malta. He's going in. Or he's coming out. Where is he? He's going in. This guy's coming out. I don't know about that one, man. I don't know. Looks like the Dominican flag, but it can't be. There's no way. Panama. Oh, my God. I'm an asshole. Panama. Should have known. Ooh. I'm hearing some banging. John's curious. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Israel does about this, because they don't seem to be very happy. Coordinator advance. Maybe. Kind of doubtful. People are up, probably. I mean, this is early morning hours. What is it? People are starting to get up. All right, I don't know. I don't know if we got anything else.
15-point plan that the U.S. submitted through mediators to Iran. Now, the fact that President Trump has posted this would appear to indicate agreement with its content. So you have a situation now where President Trump, absolutely confident, it would appear from the tones of his earlier social media message, that there can be agreement forged within the 2 weeks of the ceasefire. It's important to note that President Trump himself, in the initial social media message confirming the ceasefire, saying that this is not just a cessation of hostilities, it is the beginning of a meaningful negotiation process. And we heard as well there in his message that there is the basis for a complete agreement to narrow the differences between Iran and the United States. So this is a massive way forward from the way President Trump was messaging earlier on in the day, in which he was threatening the whole civilization will die tonight unless Iran met his deadline, which was a couple of hours ago. But about an hour and a half before that deadline, President Trump put out that message on social media, accepting Iran's 10.
You gotta wonder what it's all for, man. You just gotta wonder what it's all for as they pull fucking dead bodies out of this building.
Within a very short space of time, that 2 weeks that the ceasefire is due to go. There's many questions still to be asked, not least about
I don't know
agreement
what's been
to
accomplished.
This whole plan.
The very skeptical of any claims of anything being accomplished. Doesn't seem like
actions in South Lebanon in particular.
It's just not worth it.
But still, this is a long way forward from the way the day began.
All right.